Grand Risings. So what's on my mind today is my life path number. I am a 13. So that's I'm trying to figure out what that means. A whole lot of stuff happens at 13 for me. So it also includes I might change my name and go by a different name. So I'm able to use numerology to my advantage, manipulate it to my benefit, pay off these karmic debts, and then there's nothing wrong with being in debt. In fact, that's how most of the wealth is created, by going into debt, especially in real estate. It's like the more debt you can get, the better. So it may, something have to do with that, and then you just flip the debt to someone else, or you leverage it, or so many different things you can do with debt to create more credit to your name. The more debt you have, the more credit you can have. So it's just like a balance, like, a ledger, like if you got this amount of debt, you can have this much more credit, and that actually makes your life better by leveraging debt. So since my life path number is 13, it means I do have a karmic debt that I would need to understand the contracts or the terms of, and then manipulate it to my advantage, find whatever loopholes I can, run through them, and basically make that pop. So anyways, my friend, he invited me to a Halloween party yesterday. It was lit, one of the best parties I've been to. It was packed out, lots of pretty girls in costumes. We had a good time talking. There was like plenty to drink, which was fine. And it was just normal. The police showed up and didn't even, they literally showed up and didn't say anything to anybody and just left. It's just like, that's how you know it was a good party, because that never happens. That really never happens. So it happens. It does happen. It happened yesterday. So anyways, my friend Jay, real cool dude, real cool guy. He over there living that high-rise life over in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Talking about that top floor, high level type of lifestyle. So it was really cool. He invited me to the party they had at like one of these guys. They go to the school over there. I went to the party and was just turning up. So one thing I was really tough for me was having a conversation with like the topics of conversation were just like topics I don't really speak on, because personally I feel like I'm not really old enough or experienced enough to really talk about these type of like beliefs, because certain beliefs, which I'm really getting this from Charlie Munger, is like, you don't want to have really any really strongly held beliefs about a subject until, one, I've experienced life to be able to know what I would do in that specific situation, and two, it just makes you a really radical sort of individual who is close-minded. So we were just having like a lot of conversations, just talking about like the president, what we felt about the president, who voted for who, and then what who you wish you voted for. And I'm like, yeah, like I definitely didn't vote for anybody you thought I voted for. It was just one of those things. I just didn't like having a conversation, and it is good because it means I was just having a longer conversation, because while my friend was macking with this girl, I'm having this conversation with her friend, and I'm like, I hate this conversation so much. And it's really just like, this is just a conversation I would never engage in. But I am, because I'm like at this party, which is fine because it's a stretch, and that's what I need. I need sometimes like stretching to have like those longer conversations, so I can actually talk more, not just like on these videos, but actually talk more with people, conversate, get my ideas across, spread my beliefs, have people understand my way of viewing things, viewing life, understand my perspective, or at least make my perspective clear for them to understand who I am as a person, which is always better than, it's always good to have that. Sometimes having an understanding is fine. However, actually having people see you clearly for who you are is probably what I would want first. And then if they want to understand me, they can do so. At that party, though, it was very clear who I was. Like, this girl, at that party anyways, like, because the girl, she called me stupid. She was like, what? You're stupid. And I'm like, and then she was pointing at my face. She was pointing at my face like, I'm like, and she was profiling me, which is one thing I've actually been learning how to do, or not really learning, but I just picked it up like 2 or 3 days ago, going out with my friend David, of profiling. And so she was profiling me, and I was like, I didn't like the way she, like, her profile. I mean, I'm not saying like they were inaccurate. They were accurate. I just like the delivery of them was just very distasteful to me personally. And it seemed like in conversation, people are able to maneuver a little bit better. Maybe they have a little bit more, well, they definitely have a little bit more tact in these types of settings. So it's good for, definitely for like socialization, to be able to pick up on these skills that you don't get taught. You basically just get the experience when you get the experience. And the only way to do that is to open your mouth and just make yourself vulnerable to other people knowing what you are about. Because I felt like, I was like, man, this girl she called me stupid. And she's pointing in my face like, I'm like, if it wasn't for my friend, I would not be talking to this girl right now. Like, this is, like, the conversation would have been over. That's some, like, very rude stuff to do to somebody you don't know. I'm just like, I know my quality. I know my status. I know my worth. I mean, I know my net worth. And I know my worth. I'm like, this is like the type of stuff you don't tolerate from anybody. And I'm just like, let me just be cool, because I'm following my bro's lead. He got me here. This is his party. This is his scene. He knows everybody. He knows. And we actually ended up meeting the guy who like was throwing the party. It was like they spent like $800 on drinks. But the real play was actually the house itself was like a good, amazing house in the city. Because, I mean, $800, I got that. But a location like with what they're describing, that's a little different. And then he didn't